Hello, everyone. Welcome to Digital Humanities Summer Institute 2026 sort of preview video. My name is Edmond Chang. I'm an associate professor of English at Ohio University.
And I'm Jason Boyd. I'm an associate professor of English at Toronto Metropolitan University in Toronto, Canada.
Amazing. This is the fifth time we'll be running the course?
I think so, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, something like that.
Yep. The first time in Montreal since we weren't able to do it last year.
Exactly. So we're really, really excited. And we're not going to read this. We're just going to show you a little bit about what the course is going to be about. So I'm just going to scroll down a little bit. And this will be shared with you all, hopefully, on the DHSI website. But we're basically trying to bring together a couple of things. We're trying to think about digital humanities in the context of queer theory and queer studies, and to think about questions like, what does digital humanities bring to queer studies? And then what does queer studies bring to digital humanities? And I think over the years, it's kind of morphed into how might we actually queer digital humanities, digital technologies, play with these things, have fun with them, explore more than just like the technology itself, but like how that technology, culture, everything is situated usually in some context. You have anything that you want to add to that?
Yeah, so I think, yeah, we've tried to kind of also speak to our own sort of research interests because we're keen on those, and I think Ed and I share a common interest in game studies, and so we've played around with making games, and also we're sort of interested in um, generative AI technologies and how queerness intersects with those. So we've been sort of done a few explorations of using ChatGPT and other AI generative products to create, I think last year, or no, a couple of years ago, we created sort of gay AI generated queer trading cards. So we're really kind of wanting to have fun with this and also wanting to be responsive to what people want to get out of the course. So
Right,
it's great if our interests and your interests intersect. But we're happy to work with you to meet any sort of goals or targets or objectives you want to meet in the course. So there is both sort of discussion of readings that we provide, but also hands-on activities. And we also try to, wherever possible, if there are relevant events happening, in Montreal at the time that we're teaching, we might do a field trip or two to go and, take in, some of those events. And we might be at a museum or another kind of venue like that.
yeah. Last time we were in Victoria, we went to an arcade.
Yes, yes,
um,
exactly.
and talked about querying space. And we also had the good fortune, of course, of having the Trans Archive at Victoria, but we will try
Mhm,
to find something along those lines as well.
mhm,
Mainly because, sitting in a classroom for hours and hours is not super fun.
mhm,
So expanding our definition to include things like mapping and archival work and museum work and all that sort of stuff, I think is really
mhm,
another way to kind of queer what we mean by DH work or queer studies work. So
mhm.
it's been really
Yeah.
successful.
Yeah, and we also look at things like, what does, queer DHD mean in the context of digital editing and
Right,
textual encoding, and what does queerness mean in relationship to things like metadata and being able to effectively search and find queer related information in archives and
right.
databases and stuff like that. So we really try wherever possible to customize, the course to address particular interests that students have, but we also want to have fun, and we want to try to, wherever possible, you get a sort of a more or less comprehensive sense of what's happening in DH around the issue of queerness. So we try to balance those things out.
Amazing. So, you will be receiving, once you register for the course, an email from us, an email from us, basically asking you what you're interested in, what you would like to focus on. And again, we will try to kind of blend all of those sort of asks into the structure of the course.
Hmm.
We're looking forward to Montreal, and
Hmm.
everyone has a great, rest of winter and spring.
Yes.
Um, please feel free to email us. The
Hmm.
email is all in the information that's on DHSI, and if you have questions, especially. But we're looking forward to it.
Hmm. Yeah, great. All right. See you in Montreal in June 2026.
Amazing.